Hi art historians, welcome back. This is a week 5 summary video. I am really excited to report to you today from Egypt. I'm here right now attending a wedding and doing some sightseeing, and it's been really amazing. We actually just got back from our pyramids day, so I did get the chance to go inside one of them, and I also got to sit on top of a camel. So I will be posting some pictures in my announcement along with this video for you all to enjoy. I'm really pumped to kind of talk a little bit more about the topics that we covered this week. So we worked on Indigenous Americas 2, for real this time, which would be the Incan culture. And then we talked a little bit more about the European Renaissance, Renaissance Part 1 and 2 with the Northern and Southern Renaissance. So as you know, I am a Incan fanatic, as I was able to go to Machu Picchu this summer. I hope you really enjoyed exploring a little bit more about that site in addition to Cusco and Sacsayhuaman and the Maize Cop and a couple of other really important Incan pieces. The quipus are super interesting, and those Altocopu tunics are just absolutely gorgeous. The way that the Incans weave the alpaca fur is incredibly amazing. And you should know that they do use a lot of all-natural elements for those dyes. So, for example, there are certain types of bugs and different types of plants that will make those dyes naturally, which is just really, really special. So I really quickly want to talk about some questions that you might have gotten a bit mixed up on, and also talk about more of what we discussed this week. So let's first talk about quiz number 9 and the Arnolfini portrait. So we wanted to explore a little bit more about what indicates the wealth and status of this couple, and there were a couple of responses here that we all kind of worked around. So the size of this piece isn't enormously different from some of the other, oil paintings that are happening during the Northern Renaissance, so that's not necessarily a standout characteristic, and definitely not one that, well, it would indicate wealth because, of course, if you had more money, you can make larger commissions for larger pieces. But in this case, we're looking for more of those visual evidence details. So that would be the things that you're seeing happening in the actual scene itself. So the other thing is that, we looked at the dog. So maybe if they had a dog, that would indicate wealth. But actually, this is really more included as a symbol. Dogs often represent fidelity or commitment in a relationship. So more of a symbolic kind of gesture there than a representation of wealth. And last but not least, we also have the limited color, but that can't possibly be a choice because this piece is bursting with color, from the oranges on the far left side to the beautiful green dress of our beautiful bride on the right. There's definitely not limited color. So the correct answer for this would be the textiles and furnishings. And when you look a little bit more in-depthly at the space that these two people and this couple are occupying, we do have a gorgeous 4-poster bed, we have a convex mirror, we do have the indication of like these beautiful floorboards that our male friend, who looks like a ruler that is out there in this world, maybe you noticed as well, but he has also removed his shoes to show that he is standing on either holy ground or very important ground, and so that is why that answer is correct for that response. So then for quiz 10, we take a look at the Last Supper, and we wanted to think about a little bit more in regards to what creates depth. So chiaroscuro is not the correct answer because that's more of an indication between darkness and lightness of a color, especially done very, very drastically. This will be pioneered by a very famous artist named Caravaggio, and he is going to work in the Baroque era, so that is not quite ready yet. Then we also have the fact that it is fresco, which, is true, but doesn't necessarily create depth there. That's just the medium. And sfumato is also another really important term that you most likely are starting to recognize. Da Vinci is the pioneer of sfumato. He is the reason why that blending technique actually has its own name, and that's also why the Mona Lisa is said to follow her with our eyes and have just that slight hint of a smile. It's because Da Vinci's ability to blend was flawless that it almost doesn't seem like it's a painting. It looks like a real person about to move, and that anticipation of movement in something static, especially in a 2D form, is absolutely stunning and amazing, but not the right answer. So the correct answer here would be linear perspective. That perspective is what is creating depth, and that allows us to feel as though the scene itself recedes into space. All of those orthogonal lines, or the invisible lines that guide the perspective, are all converging right on top of Jesus's little forehead there, which means, of course, that he is the main and central subject. So not only do these linear perspective techniques add depth to the piece, but they also create focus, and they tell us who the main subject is and who the most important person is in regards to hierarchy. So those were the 2 quizzes. Great job, everybody. Now let's talk a little bit more about our discussion. I want to thank you all for some really awesome posts. I felt like we had a really wonderful exploration of a lot of these pieces, and I really love the fact that some of you included some more close-up images of what you were looking at. Really, really successful to combine what you're discussing with the image of it, and so I absolutely am thrilled that some of you decided to go ahead and do that, so congratulations there. So let's first give some credit to Diane, who wanted to mention that the architecture of Machu Picchu was incredibly impressive. I could not agree more. The fact that the ancient Incans were able to develop something called ashlar masonry is beyond imaginable. I mean, if you are able to walk around the city of Cusco, you'll most likely head over to the Temple of Coricancha, and there you'll see that these blocks are carved so perfectly, like literal jigsaw pieces that fit together without the need of any kind of concrete or mortar in between to help secure them. They don't need help to be secured. They're done that well. And you can even see evidence of some small little holes and kind of ring-shaped spaces that they would have used to insert different other elements that will help lock these pieces in place. But other than that, everything is carved perfectly to fit within each other. There is even a specific stone called the 12-sided stone that actually has 12 different sides all the way around. I'll include a picture, just demonstrating that high level of mastery in regards to attention to detail, because they are attempting to fit these pieces and locked in perfectly. So then, and also I want to mention, Kaylee, you had said that it reminds you a little bit of Jumanji, and I kind of love that connection. I think it's really special when you're able to make connections between art history and our current world today. Keeps up that kind of sense of timelessness and really just adds to the reason why art history is such an amazing subject to explore and study. So then we have Teresa, who wanted to talk a little bit more about the Garden of Earthly Delights, and the fact that you put this picture in there and the detail is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure we could stare at this piece for like the end till the end of time and still like find amusement and funny little things happening throughout. The one scene that you mentioned is absolutely one of the goofiest for sure. And then Micah, you actually gave us an immersive video for this, which was really, really cool. Thank you for including that and sharing those resources with us. These are the kinds of posts that really get conversations going, and so great job there. Cole, you wanted to talk a little bit more about the Isenheim altarpiece. Maybe you had the chance to also construct your own with that little template that I made. If not, maybe you have some time to give it a try. But that is a definitely very gruesome piece. I mean, the fact of the skin that Jesus has on that first panel with the pockmarks in it and all the holes and the predella panel at the bottom, it is intense and gruesome. I could not agree more with your statements surrounding these concepts. Of course, as we open up our piece, we end up with that highlight reel of Jesus's life, of course with a little music therapy in there, because maybe it'll help us heal from ergotism, or just contribute to the hallucinations as an effect from the disease. But that last piece too, when you open up those panels again and see the 3D renderings of all of those saints, is just really, really special, and it adds so much more to this piece, because with the depth that the artist has included, we do get that sense of receding space on the 2D panels, but then there's also the reveal of actual depth of space on the 3D panels, and so that was really awesome. And last but not least, Dion, you commented about the Last Supper, and you had said that the use of perspective and was just so impressive. And honestly, Dion, the way that you describe artwork after having viewed it for a little bit longer is incredibly impressive. I really feel like the way you generated the description of the work made it feel like I was standing right in front of it. So amazing job there, and great job all around, folks. So first and foremost, I want to quickly apologize. Obviously, right now it is currently about about 6 o'clock here, p.m., and I think you're all about in the middle of your day right now. So my timing was a smidge off the time change for posting all the modules for week 6. Those are now all up for you, so you can get started. I also want to give you a quick compliment. I did get all of those writing assignments graded for the digital Rembrandt, and folks, really, really amazing job. I love the way that you explored this piece, or this artist, as well as this modality, and so really wonderful responses. The only reason you might have lost any points there is if you didn't follow the instructions that were provided in regards to formatting, or we didn't really get a chance to maybe develop some of those ideas that you had brought up in some paragraphs. But otherwise, folks, amazing job all around. As we move into week 6, you do have another writing assignment if you'd like to complete that, so keep it in mind. What I really want you all to focus on and start kind of looking ahead a little bit is that formal analysis paper. That is going to be due at the end of week 7, and it is not optional. I need everybody to complete that. Now, of course, for some of those that are learning at a distance, you might run into some issues, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Speaking of which, I appreciate your patience. Of course, my response time is going to be a little bit delayed as I've been a little bit busy this week and the previous week, so I really appreciate that, folks. If I'm not getting back to you about an immediate, really urgent question as immediately as you need, never hesitate to send a little reminder email. Sometimes emails slip through the cracks as they start to pile up, so I appreciate the reminder. I'm also not totally done with week 5 grading yet, as I would normally like to be, so I apologize for that, but I'm about halfway done at this point, and I will absolutely get to finishing that as soon as I possibly can. Of course, the lovely Sarah Eller, our teaching intern, is here to assist and has already been doing an amazing job, so great job, Sarah, and great job to you all. We are well past the halfway point of this class. I hope you're enjoying learning and interacting with all these really fun resources, and I will see you back here again for a week 6 summary video. So until then, folks, bye!